In this condensed structure, it starts out a little bit funny where we have 3 carbons in a row. So just to help us keep track, let's highlight these. I'll do 1 in red, 1 in blue, 1 in green. But let's work this like we would any problem. So we'll start out with the 1 in red and write that as a CH. Then I'm going to bond that to the 1 in blue, which is just a C, and bond that to the 1 in green, which is a CH2. Okay, let's highlight them with the appropriate colors. So here's the red one, the blue one, and the green one. Okay, now we're not quite done. Hopefully you recognize there's some issues with the correct number of bonds, but we'll come back to that. All right, from there, now we have another CH2. And then finally, the CHO, which you should know, looks like this. Okay, so back to our first 3 carbons. The 1 in green's in good shape. It has 4 bonds. The 1 in blue only has 2 bonds. The 1 in red only has 2 bonds. So what do we do when there's not enough bonds like that? Add pi bonds. So we need to add 2 pi bonds to that. The other thing I'm going to do, which you don't have to do, but I think makes it look a little better, is instead of writing this hydrogen below the carbon, I'm going to write it to the left of the carbon. That's a bit more traditional. Okay, from here, we want to convert this to the skeletal structure. So let's highlight our longest chain of atoms. Remember, we don't include hydrogen when doing this because they end up implied. All right, we end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbons. All right, now let's just go ahead and do our zigzag chain, and then we'll deal with the triple bond in the end. Okay, there's a couple ways you could do this, but I'm just going to draw 5 atoms like we would normally do. And then put in, or let's do our numbering. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, put in any heteroatoms. There aren't any in the chain. Then we put in any groups attached. Well, carbon 5, we have a double bond O. So I'll draw that in. If you'd drawn it right here, that's totally fine as well. Also, sometimes people will draw in the hydrogen on there. That's fine too. Okay, the last thing is the triple bond between carbons 1 and 2. Let's draw that in. Okay, but we know we're not supposed to leave that bent like it is. So let's just straighten that out. Everything else from 2 to 5 is just fine. All right, but if we straighten out the bond from 1 to 2, try to make it look nice, we end up with this.